Have you been told by people that you're too nice? Some people have. And of those, if you're one of them, you might be thinking, well, what's wrong with being too nice? Or you might be thinking, I know, I hear it all the time, and I think it too, and I don't want to be so overly nice. Wherever you come in on this, if you're someone who people have said, you're really, really nice, you're too nice, then I want you to consider three elements. First, if you've been told you're too nice, that could really cost you. And it could cost you in three ways. Number one, people could see you as fake. And you might say, well, but I don't want to be one of those real people who just lets it all hang out and they're just kind of a mess and they're negative. What I would shift your thinking to is rather than thinking about being just real, just be genuine. Just be genuine. Genuineness has where you can still be genuine and bring your maturity to the situation. So you're not just going to show up and be a total mess, but you're going to bring the authentic you to people, and you can bring some positivity with it. You can bring some good problem solving with it, but you're also going to be genuine and authentic in the moment. Secondly, it can cost you in that you could not be taken seriously. Oh, he's so nice, she's so nice. Maybe they don't really know what they're doing. I guess we can just kind of marginalize them. So think about, instead of thinking about yourself as nice, think about yourself as kind. Being a kind person has more presence to it. If that's something you think about and you think about, okay, so what would a kind person do right now instead of a nice person? Because sometimes the kind person does something, has to say something that maybe is a little challenging. Maybe it's a little tough. It's maybe not something that a nicey nice person would say. So consider being more kind than nice. And the third thing it could cost you, if you are considered too nice, it could really cost you opportunities. I have managers coming to me all the time saying, wow, I've got this employee mad that I didn't promote them, but they never spoke up for themselves and said that they wanted the role, or they got frustrated, the employee got frustrated because I didn't give them that plum project, but I never knew that they were interested in that area. It never came up. So if you're so nice that you're not speaking up, you're not telling your boss, hey, here's areas that I'm interested in. It's not just a give me culture. Obviously, you're crushing it at your job as well. But then you're letting them know, hey, I'm interested in this, in this, so that when the time comes that you're someone who's considered. Secondly, if you're someone who's too nice, it could mask the fact that you're also too mean. And what I mean by that is you're mean to yourself. You're so nice to others and you're so mean to yourself. And if that resonates with you, think about these three things. Number one, I want you to start observing. I want you to turn up the observer voice inside of you, like you're stepping outside. The more you can think about taking an observation role, starts to mentally and emotionally separate you from this mean, sort of mean-spirited and mean-voiced creature in you that you're thinking, that's who I am. Because it's not who you are. It's just this other voice that's coming in. So when you can observe and start to notice, wow, that was a pretty tough thing that I just said to myself, you're now on the road to releasing that. Secondly, I want you to stop the perfectionism and all that expecting yourself to show up perfect every time. That's not realistic. That's not real world. And you got to get real with this and let that go. And then the third piece is to start giving yourself credit for those good things that you're doing, the small things that you're doing. Just if you're having a really rough day, but you still went to the gym, credit. If you're having a really, really rough day, but you managed to get 2 dishes washed, credit. Because what happens is now you're going to start to release that meanness inside you, and you're going to start to grow more support inside of you. So that niceness to others starts, and that kindness to others, you're going to start doing internally. You're going to be so much happier. Third, if you're someone who's seen as too nice, and it could be a sign that actually you're really nice to other people, but you're really mean to yourself, here's a big caution to you. Typically, what's going on inside of us ultimately comes out. And it's when we don't have the energy to be on our best behavior, or it's when we get really, really pushed. You know, someone who's really, really polite and then they get pushed too far and then they just explode. That's what we're talking about here. So if you are too nice to other people, if you're mean to yourself and you've got this critical, judgmental voice inside to yourself, just beware that when you get pushed too far, that's going to start tumbling out and you're probably going to put that on others, which is going to be bad for your relationships, which is ultimately going to make you unhappy. So you just want to, again, start observing yourself. You want to think about the things that you can control. Think about the things you can't control. Start letting go of some of those things you can't control and make a plan for the things you can. And again, reward those baby steps. You do something good, even as small as making your bed, and you reward yourself for it. You want to start turning on that kind voice and that self-congratulatory voice for that. So if you're seen as too nice, just remember it's going to cost you. And so it's time to start speaking up for yourself. It's time to consider yourself, what would it be like to be kind rather than nice? Well, how is kind different than nice, so that you can say some of the tough things when you need to. And you're also going to look at, does this mean that underneath I'm kind of being mean to myself? Because often too nice people on the outside are too mean to themselves underneath. Look for that. And if that's the case, also beware that ultimately when you get pushed too far, that meanness in that mean voice inside is gonna pop outside to other people. So you want to take a look at that and start dismantling it by observing that negative voice, that judgmental inner voice, and also by getting some distance from it and by starting to celebrate the small wins and the good things that you do.